It was the design of Angelo Ricci, Joe Zanuck, and Manuel Silva to call on the terrible old man. The old man dwells all alone in a very ancient house on Water Street near the sea, and is reputed to be both exceedingly rich and exceedingly feeble. This formed a situation very attractive to men of Ricci, Zanuck, and Silva's profession, which was nothing less dignified than robbery. The old man, in truth, is a very strange person, believed to have been a captain of East India clipper ships in his day. So old that no one can remember when he was young, so taciturn that few know his real name. Among the gnarled trees in his front yard of his aged and neglected place, he maintains a strange collection of large stones, oddly grouped and painted so that they resemble the idols in some obscure Eastern temple. This collection frightens away most of the small boys who love to taunt the terrible old man about his long white hair and beard, or to break the small pane windows of his dwelling with wicked missiles. But there are things which frighten the older, more curious folk who sometimes steal up to the house to peer into the dusty panes. These folks say that on a table in a bare room on the ground floor are many peculiar bottles, in each a small piece of lead suspended pendulum-wise from a string. And they say that the terrible old man talks to these bottles, addressing them by names such as Jack, Scarface, Long Tom, Spanish Joe, Peters, and Mate Ellis, and that whenever he speaks to a bottle, the little lead pendulum within makes certain definite vibrations as if in answer. Those who have watched the tall, lean, terrible old man in these peculiar conversations do not watch him again. But Angelo Ricci and Joe Zanuck and Manuel Silva were not of Kingsport blood, and they saw in the terrible old man merely a tottering, almost helpless graybeard who could not walk without the aid of his knotted cane. Mr. Zanuck did not like the hideous screams he had heard in the ancient house just after the hour for the appointed deed. Had he not told his colleagues to be as gentle as possible with the pathetic old sea captain? Very nervously he watched the narrow oaken gate and the high and ivy-clad stone wall. Frequently he consulted his watch and wondered at the delay. Then he heard a soft tread on the walk inside the gate. Little things make considerable excitement in little towns, which is the reason that Kingsport people talked all that spring and summer about the 3 unidentifiable bodies horribly slashed, as with many cutlasses, and horribly mangled as by the tread of many cruel boot heels, which the tide washed in. And some people even spoke of things as trivial as a deserted motor car found in Ship Street, or certain especially inhuman cries, probably of a stray animal or migratory bird, heard in the night by wakeful citizens. But in this idle village gossip, the terrible old man took no interest at all. He was by nature reserved, and when one is aged and feeble, one's reserve is doubly strong. Besides, so ancient a sea captain must have witnessed scores of things much more stirring in the far-off days of his unremembered youth.